Welcome back, and it's now time for the segment we like to call Mythbuster Wednesday. And on this edition, we're going to take a closer look at the unemployment figure and why the government number understates the problem many of you know all too well. First, we've been hearing the jobless numbers from Hilda Solis, Barack Obama's choice to be labor secretary, and from Congress.
Data released this morning, as you know, shows that unemployment has risen to 7.2%.
Unemployed Americans are now 11.1 million.
Well, our next guest points out that some of these numbers are a myth compared to the real problem. And here to bust a myth, Dan Gross, senior editor at Newsweek. Dan, what's wrong with the 7.2% that the Labor Department puts out?
Well, the Labor Department collects all sorts of data. They ask people, do you have a job or not? And depending on the answers, that's where they get that rate. They also ask, are you working part-time, but you'd really be rather work full-time? Are you so discouraged that you've given up looking? And when they add all those together, all these measures of employment frustration, it's up to 14%. So basically 14% of American workers want to be working full-time, want to be on the job every day, and there's not enough work to go around.
Why then are we paying so much attention? Does our government pay so much attention to the 7.2% figure that's out there?
Well, look, this is one of two headline numbers. Every month, the Bureau of Labor Statistics tells us first how many jobs have been created or lost. That's the big payroll number. And second, what the unemployment rate is based on this survey. And again, it's this kind of historical vestige where we just say, do you have a job or not, as if that's all that matters. These days, when so many people work on contracts, when they're temps, when people are self-employed, what really matters is, are you working as much as you want or need to be?
Now, that 14% figure, a lot of people will find stunning, although maybe they're not surprised, because I think a lot of people feel like everyone seems to know somebody who's not employed or is looking for work. Doesn't that argue for faster action?
Oh, absolutely. The gap is in the amount that people are willing to work and the amount that our economy can produce if we have the capital to do it. And that's what's lacking right now. So the people who are arguing for a big fiscal stimulus, for the government to come in with, whether it's job programs, tax rebates, tax cuts, are saying there's a lot of people who would like to be working, who are not working to their full potential. And since the capital isn't coming from the private sector, there's only one other source. That's the government.
So again, when people say, oh, employment's not too bad, it's only 7.3% compared to 21, 22% during the Depression, the real figure is actually more about 14%.
Well, when you look at this 7.2% rate, it's lower than it has been. Back in the 80s, it was up to 10 or 11%. Those were the people, who had factory jobs, who didn't have them anymore, said, we don't have jobs. But when you're asking today, do you want to be working full-time? Have you given up looking? Do you not have a job? That number's at 14%, 13.8, and it is the highest it's been since they started calculating this number in 1994.
Daniel Gross, senior editor from Newsweek, Mythbuster Wednesday. This is Dan's franchise, and thanks for coming in and do it, Dan. We appreciate it.
Happy to do it.